Remember when we were children and something didn't go our way? What was our next step? Name-calling, crying, pouting. Then we ignored what the truth was and instead said whatever we needed to say to get mom or dad on our side. Would it shock you to learn that the Democrat Party is taking a play out of our childhood playbook? For all my disagreements with Democrat policies, I must say that I don't mind an opposing viewpoint when it comes from a place of maturity. This is why I'm annoyed now with this new alt-right, white nationalist claim that the left is actively pushing on us.
I'm telling you, Donald Trump amplifies the worst instincts, and his nationalism is really a white racist supremacist nationalism.
The Democrats are in panic mode with Trump, the joke candidate, closing in on Mrs. Clinton not only nationally, but in several key swing states. It is with this news that the new strategy emerges. If you can't beat your opponent on policy, call him a racist, or homophobe, Islamophobe, xenophobe. Is there anything else you can call him? You get the idea. I take issue with this claim that Donald Trump excites a small group of racists. Or as Hillary said recently,
you know, to just be grossly generalistic, you could put half of Trump's supporters into what I call the basket of deplorables. Right?
This thinking is idiotic for several reasons, the least of which being the idea that half of the Republican Party is deplorable. But nonetheless, let's break this accusation down. If half of the Trump supporters are the absolute worst kind of citizen, or even after Hillary admitted to grossly generalizing, although her vice presidential running mate Tim Kaine said she didn't need to apologize, and apparently Lester Holt thought this statement completely unimportant in the first presidential debate. But if Trump is adored by that many terrible people, what does that say about the majority of good Republicans who are still endorsing him? You can't have it both ways, Madam Secretary. Either you don't like Trump and fear you're losing ground with the electorate, so you are trying to conjure up fear among Democrats, or a small minority of less than stellar citizens is responsible for Trump's ascension. But then those good or tolerable Republicans back and support him, and his numbers keep growing, even among many blacks and Hispanics, and some LGBT, indicating that as the election moves forward, more and more Americans are becoming deplorable? And not just deplorable, but somehow deplorable against themselves? If Trump pulls this off, are we really going to say that over half the country either is a deplorable American or at the very least has no problem with deplorable Americans? If I see an injustice, I do everything in my power to fix it. But if I see it and choose to ignore it, then I am no better, and in some ways I'm worse than the perpetrator of wrongdoing. Patriots, what's happening here is an awakening of an American exceptionalism, a rebirth of the sentiments of our founders, and a growing understanding of what big government does to our country. This isn't about the alt-right, white nationalist takeover, but if your party's policies are so bad that the country begins looking elsewhere for answers, what's one thing you can say to try and keep your supporters? Demonize the other side and you scare your subjects into submission. Patriots, don't be fooled by this strategy. Educate and empower the people, and you raise a citizenry that knows how to fight back.